Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, and I know it's been months since I last did a duping new palette video because, like, to me they kind of lost their function. We all know that every new palette that comes out can be duped. Like, there are only so many colors within our visible spectrum, but this release from Pat McGrath, it did not give what was supposed to be gave. We were expecting from the outer packaging something really like periwinkle and pastel and colorful, and then we got Divine Rose 3. But I will give it that it is beautiful. It is just redundant. So I wanted to just go back to this old exercise I used to do, which is seeing if I can make this new release within what I already own. Another reason I stopped doing this series is because I recently decluttered like 70% of my eyeshadows. Real quick before we get into it, this first portion of this video is so kindly sponsored by Ana Luisa Jewelry. Yes. It is no secret that I stan Ana Luisa, and that's because their jewelry is either 14 or 18 karat plated gold, and they don't irritate my ears. I shower in them, I sleep in them, and I get no irritation. More importantly than that, because I've had some of these pieces for over a year now, they don't become discolored either. The reason I'm talking about Ana Luisa today is because they have their summer sale going on. It's 20% off the entire site, and they have free shipping. Let me show you 3 of their pieces up close. So first, I actually have on either side of my ear these daggers, which I love, and these are the Hannah Lee earrings. And the funny thing about this is that the set comes with 1 dagger and 1 dangle with these little bead charms on it, but you may recognize that I have 2 of each because this is my second pair. Here's how a pair of these earrings actually looks with the asymmetry, and these are the most affordable out of my 3 picks. They're $59, but 20% off. They are down to $47.20. Next, I have another pair of earrings. Earrings are my favorite. With earrings, like I said, I just keep them in. I live in them. These are the Sonia earrings, and these are the most expensive out of the 3 because they're the most sparkly and blingy. So the material of the Sonia earrings is 14 karat gold over sterling silver with cubic zirconia, and the original price of these is $115. After the 20% off, it brings it down to $92. The third piece I wanted to show y'all are my necklaces, and this is included as like 1 piece, even though it is 2 separate necklaces, like 2 separate. You get 2 necklaces. So this is the Heritage necklace set. It's originally $75, and then after the 20% off, it is down to $60. If you order this necklace set or any other necklace set, you get multiple items, which I think is neato. If you're interested in trying Ana Luisa, now would be a good time to do it, and these will be linked in my description box. Let's get into the eyeshadow. Let's start with just showing you the swatches of all 10 of my shades up front that I selected based on the swatches from Trend Mood. Man, I would have really loved to see like a cornflower or like a periwinkle color in there, or even something a little silvery, kind of icy, just something outside of this mid-toned pink range, you know? And here are my swatches up against Pat McGrath's swatches, but I can never trust Pat McGrath swatches of her eyeshadows. They never end up really looking like that. So here are the swatches next to Trend Mood swatches, where she physically has the palette in front of her because she gets it early and swatched out the shades. Here are the shadows that I am using today to recreate this palette. If a shade is not exact, honestly, it's because I think the shade I have is better. And so the first shade is an example of that. We don't have shade names yet, but it's this like light champagne color, essentially, like a light highlight color. So for that, I'm picking from my Iconic Illumination quad. So this is the Astral kind of formula. Oh, it's my favorite. This is my favorite shade in this little quad for clear reasons. Just look at it. So here is the swatch of that. Build up that tail end a bit. Ooh, so sparkly, just like the stars in the sky. The second shade in the palette is this kind of like a really light pink transition, and I have a countless number of those. So this one I pulled from the Sailor Moon palette, the ColourPop Sailor Moon palette, and it is the shade Moon Castle. Here it is, it's just like a soft baby pink. So it's like just on the cusp of being too light for a transition for like the normal light medium range Third shade is this bronze with like a bit of pink in it, and for that I'm actually pulling from, again, the Iconic Illumination. I promise I'm gonna get to the Divine Rose 2 later. So it's this one bronze here, and it's so weird because it looks so warm in the pan, but I even swatched it side by side next to the bronze that's in the Divine Rose 2. And the one in the Iconic Illumination actually was less orange with a little more skin tone in it. And this is one of those shades where it was very, like every picture looked different. Yeah, so there it is. It's a nice, pretty, dependable bronze, I guess. It's warm, but not like orange, you know what I'm saying? Especially when it's next to the pink, you can see that some more of those pink tones come through. The fourth shade in the Pat McGrath palette is this dark gold color, like a really rich gold, I guess. So that I'm pulling from my Divine Rose 2. And it's just a nice dandelion gold. So there's a swatch of that. I have like very limited commentary to give on these shades. They're pretty much what you see, like all of the information. There's more information you can see in the visual footage than I can describe to you with my words. So I don't know, I'm struggling with my language here today a little bit. Ooh, the fifth and last shade on the top row is one of the super special ones that's supposed to be in the Huetopian Dream, and super special multi-chrome slash duochrome shades, you say. This is the JD Glow shade in the, what is it called? In Sin. Yes, so it's like a pink to blue-green kind of thing, and I'm really excited to swatch this one out. It is what I was wearing on my inner corner and in the center of my lid in the intro of this video. Yeah, so I was debating between picking Opal and Sin, this shade, but I ended up picking Sin because Opal is like very, very blue, whereas Sin has more of that like pink base to it. Sin even has a lot of blue and a really strong reflect to it. Yeah, I made the right choice. That was good. That's good. Yeah. Next onto the bottom row, this first shade is pulled from my Alter Ego Daydream palette, and it is the shade Fawn, which is like a neutral pink, but it's a little bit deeper, perhaps a little more cool toned than the lighter pink that's on the first row. So here's a swatch of Fawn. A little bit of a dusty neutral pink. A little deeper, yeah. This kind of pink is my favorite, like my absolute favorite. I can wear this every day just as a single shadow on my eyes, and I feel like it just makes me look a little pretty and a little bit tired because it's that pink tone, but I think it's really flattering. All right, the second shade in the second row, I'm pulling from my Huda Nude Light palette, and it seems like a pretty basic pink shimmer. So I picked this one from the Huda Nude Light. I often don't even use it that much, because usually if I use a shimmer, it's either deep or it's either light. I don't often use a lot of the mid tones, but within my own collection, I had one of them, so I bet you do too. Even across these swatches, right, there is not any depth to this. The only other matte is like a really bright color. Speaking of that bright color, the Pat McGrath palette had this like peachy, like really strong peach color. I was considering picking this one from the Divine Rose 2, but I don't think it was quite colorful enough, and if I am making this palette at home anyway, I would prefer something with a little bit more impact. So that's why I went with the shade from the Sailor Moon Pretty Guardian palette. It's the shade called Tuxedo Rose, and it is neon neon. So let me show you. It's gonna be a weird swatch because it's on my pinky, but wow, like a highlighter, right? Wow, super, super colorful. This is more of a shade just in general for use that you pat on because it doesn't blend super well with this kind of pigment, but it's fun to like dot on the inner corner or even try lining my eye with. And then the last two shades, I actually did leave a perfect amount of space for them. So there's this pinkish toned, like really deep, sultry kind of color. And this is the one where I pretty much didn't find something that I was happy with in terms of replacing it with making my own version of it. But this is a deep, deep, like rusty rose, and it is again from the Alter Ego Daydream palette. It is this shade called Cloud 9, and it's just like, I love this kind of shade where it's a combination of bronze and pink and like shine and depth and light and all this kind of stuff. So I also love swatching it because it's so like creamy. It feels thick. It feels almost like a cream actually, which is one thing that I really like about Alter Ego's metallic formula, especially the one in the Daydream palette. It is so creamy, like very smooth. Wow, yeah, so good. Oh, ooh, maybe I did do a good job with picking this shade. It looked like in the pictures that the Pat McGrath one's gonna have some of that green in it, which obviously the shade that I swatched here does not have that. But the multichrome in here, the pink to, there it is, the green, the shining color of the pink is a little too like cool compared to what's in the new palette. So that one actually doesn't look like it's going to be a repeat or like a dupe of the Divine Rose 2 multichrome. And then the one last one, which is one of the most exciting ones. These JD Glow ones are clearly the ones that I like the best. There's this purplish to maybe a little blue duochrome in there, and wow, that just so happens to look exactly like the JD Glow shadow called Insane. So you can see it's blue because the light is shining straight on it, but the shadow is purple, and we're gonna see that more clearly in my swatch, which I'll do right now. The formula of this, maybe it's because it has that blue in it, is a little like drier. That really sparkly, scattered glitter formula does kind of mimic the Pat McGrath, like these kind of her astral formula. So those are all of the swatches, and I know that you already saw these swatches at the beginning. So the purpose of this overhead footage was just to show y'all like the live performance of each of these individually and where exactly they're from. And there we have it. This video feels like such a blast to the past for me, doing this kind of the duping new palettes thing, because I haven't done it in a really long time, but it's fun and it reignites my excitement for the shadows I already have, which is the goal. And yes, I did change into a Dunder Mifflin t-shirt for the swatching part of that, but wow, this is gorgeous. And especially the JD Glow. Pretty much any other shadows, like, I don't think are quite worth buying the palette for. Pretty much what people are gonna be looking at this palette for, I feel like, are for the two shades on the end, like the last one on the top row and then the last one on the bottom row, which I pretty much have with my JD Glow, so I don't really see a purpose of me doing it. But even if, like for those of y'all watching, if you don't own JD Glow, I would, like if I were talking to my friend, I would recommend them just buy like single shadows. I know that's a recommendation that a lot of people give in this kind of video, but just buying an entire $125 palette for a lot of shades that are in the same range of depth, in the same color family, and then having just a couple or 3 or 4 maybe extraordinary ones, it just, like, I couldn't recommend that. That's up to you. I hope watching this video was fun. It didn't really have like a purpose other than me just doing it because I wanted to. Just at the end of my video, I'm reminding y'all that Ana Luisa has their 20% off sale if you're interested, link in the description. And other than that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Find the beauty in every day, but most importantly, be kind to yourself. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!